All right, hey everybody, back with another news feed here for you. This one, starting it off, we're talking about the GM 3-liter Duramax engine. This is this amazing inline six single turbo. This is a pretty sweet motor, been around for a few years. This article dives into it pretty good. So if you're looking for a new full-size truck, full-size SUV from GM, this is an option for you, and it's got some pretty cool perks. Let's take a look at it. So basically, V8s have been the dominant for full-size trucks and for large, Yukon size, the large SUVs. They've been predominantly powered by V8 engines. Problem with V8 though is that the gas mileage and things like that. Here it says powered by V8. It's easy to see why there's always plenty of power to offer. Heaps of grunt for those who need to tow and haul heavy loads. Rising gas prices have resulted in shoppers looking for alternative options as fuel up big capacity V8s are not exactly easy on a wallet. That's true. We'll cover that. In 2019, GM delivered the answer many were looking for in a new 3-liter Duramax engine. This thing's pretty sweet, not going to lie. We've talked about it many times before. It first arrived in 2019 model year Silverado and Sierra 1500s. The engine provides the most capable for towing. We'll talk about that. The LM2 Duramax engine has now been phased out for the more powerful, cleaner LZO Duramax. More powerful is good, cleaner is not. Cleaner means that they are more EPA regulations put into it, more emissions control systems that are put into it, which usually means more problems. It is upsetting how the EPA cannot get their dirty little hands off of our trucks today. It's absolutely outstanding. I cannot tolerate what the EPA does. And I know I hear it all the time whenever I say, well, try living in California with all the smog and we need it. And if they don't regulate these, and I'd be okay with EPA stuff if they could actually make the motors work. Every single engine produced in 2025 has some sort of a EPA or active fuel management or some kind of particulate filters or the BS that's involved with these things. They fail nonstop. So figure out a way to make them work. That's all we're asking for. We'll let you have it if you can make the dang things work. If you can't, we don't want it. Seriously, it's that easy. And it's what it comes down to. Well, the new LZO, it's got more of the emissions control BS stuff in there. The result, dubbed the 3-liter Duramax, a compact inline six which uses a single turbocharger to boost performance, yet still remains genuinely impressive MPGs. It's pretty cool. We'll talk about the MPGs. And I actually did some math there for you. The following year, 2001, saw the inline six available in the full-size SUVs for the first time ever under the hood of the Tahoe and the Suburban plus the Yukon. So that's a very nice feature. Sorry, I'm rubbing my eyes. I'm tired. It's like it's 5:30 in the morning, and I'm working my butt off trying to get. Today's the last day I need for grout. Trying to get grout done on that shower, and then I'm gonna try and get in the woods and do some hunting today. So I'm up early making stuff happen. The Duramax engine was revamped for 2023 model year. Again, they keep repeating themselves. It's okay, we know that. It's the new one, it's in there. But the increase is 28 horsepower and 35 more foot-pounds of torque, and it has more EPA stuff on there. That's what we get today. It's no choice. And it's been out, though, since 2023, and it's been proven pretty well. Does have some issues. Again, we'll talk about here for you. Here's the specs on it. You're getting power-wise. 277 is what it started out at in the beginning of its life. It is now up to 305 horsepower. Is the one you get today. 305 horsepower, 495 foot-pounds of torque. Max engine speed, 5,000 RPM. So it makes it low, right? It makes 490 foot-pounds of torque, or pound-feet of torque at 2,700 RPM. That is very impressive. However, this is a diesel motor making 500 horsepower or 500 pound-feet of torque at 2,700 RPM. Just for reference, okay, not to upset anybody, but look at the amazing little Chevy 2.7 turbo, single turbo 4-cylinder gas engine that puts out 430 foot-pounds or pound-feet of torque at 2,700 RPM. Pretty impressive when you look at that numbers and you think about that. That's pretty dang impressive for that 2.7. That it's not that much farther behind here. However, the fuel economy is a big difference in here too, but it's got a Garrett charger. Okay, that's what's doing the forced induction in there. Now, people don't realize, too, you talk about that. Everybody's like V8, V8, V8. If you live anywhere at elevation or you drive through a place with elevation, like you go through the mountains, the Rockies, the Smokies, any of this kind of stuff, you start getting up in elevation, as the air gets thinner, a naturally aspirated engine loses tremendous power. Okay, the power goes down because the air is thinner and it's naturally aspirated. It means it has to suck the air in on its own. It has to come through the engine. It's doing it. It's not forced. Turbos do not lose any power at elevation because they are forced air injected. So the air is forced in through the exhaust. So in a supercharged engine or a turbocharged engine does not lose power at elevation where a naturally aspirated one does. Here we go right here. Fuel economy return for the powerful diesel is pretty impressive. Figures go up to 27 miles per gallon on the highway and 21 around town. Compare that to the 5.3 at 20 and 15. That's about a 6 to 7 mile per gallon difference. What does that come out to? It comes out to a savings today of about $450 for every 10,000 miles. If you're a 10,000 mile a year driver, no big deal. If you're a 40,000 mile a year driver, that's, $1,500 a year. That's $125 a month in savings for gas and fuel. That's huge. And if you're going to own it for let's say you're going to own it for 100,000 miles, and that's basically $4,000 difference. $4,000 difference. Is that right? Yeah, about $4,000 difference over the cost period, and that would pay for the motor all day long, and pay for the cost increase of the motor over the life of it for sure. So what about reliability? Largely anything Duramax under the hood is going to be dependable workhorse, but nothing is totally problem-free. Some owners are complaining about lengthy crank times, especially in cold weather. Some are unable to start the engine at all. One cause of the problem has been diagnosed as faulty camshaft lifter wheel. Same thing with the camshaft trigger wheel. Same thing with the lifter issues we're running into here. It just is what it is. Again, this is the EPA BS stuff in here, but it does have this problem here I cannot believe has not been fixed yet, but they do say that the rear main seal looks to be a common weak point on the 3-liter Duramax, with oil leaks commonly cropping up from here. The leaks can prove to be quite catastrophic, and changing the seal is an in-depth and time-consuming job. What's worse is that even low-mileage models have been suffering from this. All problems today, or all engines today, have problems. Your best solution is to have an extended warranty. Do not own a new vehicle outside of warranty. You want to own your old one outside of warranty? Fine, do it. Your new one, do not. Make sure you have an extended warranty on it. It is not worth it. And 9 times out of 10 today, 2024, 2025 and newer, they're paying for themselves over and over again, the extended warranty. And they're prorated refundable. So, my opinion, I would never not have one. Here's vehicles that have this engine: the Yukon, the Silverado, the Tahoe, Suburban, and the Sierra. Right there for you. And they test drove it. They said the GMC 3-liter diesel performed admirably. Not only was the Duramax lump more efficient than its V8 counterparts and satisfying powerful, it also was incredibly smooth and quiet too, especially on the highway, unlike a lot of diesels are. When properly equipped to do so, it can tow 13,300 pounds. So pretty impressive motor, pretty impressive vehicle. Again, don't let the downsides to this and the oil leaks and things like this scare you away. Every motor today has issues, and this one's proven pretty good and pretty rock solid. You cannot really say anything too bad about this motor right here. Now let's go on to this one real quick here. I thought was pretty interesting. We're not going to be on it for long because this is not my normal thing, but I found it very interesting. People who pretend to be successful but are actually broke often display these 10 behaviors. Okay, so I highlighted some quick ones. Some people go to great lengths to appear successful. Obviously, we know that. There's a trend in here we're going to see. Some of you fit into this. Some of you know people that do fit into this. The key, the reason I'm putting it on here for you, is if you are in this situation, hopefully it identifies it for you and backs you out of it. I have been here. Many of us have been here. And it's life. I promise you, life is much better on the other side when you stop caring what other people think. So it's pretty impressive here to look at this, put it into perspective. Pretending to have it all together often takes more effort and actual working towards real success. But why do some people fake it? Here's the reasons why. They prioritize looking rich. It's all about the image for a lot of people. What you don't see is the credit cards piling up behind the scenes and a paycheck to paycheck lifestyle that keeps them stuck. No doubt about it. My grandpa used to say, you want to show me something, show me nothing. Meaning that if you have nothing, it means all your money's going in the bank. There's a reality to this, but for many, it's all about this. It's all about the image. Nobody cares about the image. Nobody cares. They don't care. And if you have to break that trend, nobody cares. Spoiler: they did. And a few months later, I found out they were struggling with debt and barely making ends meet. He's talking in here about people that had all the fancy things, take them out to fancy dinners. It's the truth. People appear to look prosperous when they're really not. And we use the doctor and lawyer term all the time. Doctors and lawyers have got the Porsches, they got the houses, they got everything, but they're so far off, and I'm stereotyping, not all of them, but many of them are so far in debt to keep that doctor or lawyer appearance going of successful that they're actually worse off than anybody. This equates to being trendy, looking successful, even if it means stretching their finances to the breaking point. That's not good. It's rooted in psychology. Humans are hardwired to seek social acceptance, and trends create sense of belonging. That's what they're after, is a sense of belonging. Trends change fast. Keeping up with them is an endless and expensive cycle. Don't play the game. Don't play the game. Just don't get into it. Walk away from that stuff. People pretending to be successful use credit cards as their go-to solution for maintaining appearance. Instead of living within their means, they rely on borrowed money to afford things they actually cannot pay for. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Nobody cares. There's a reason that we have so many people that are 50 years old. The kids are gone. It's just a mom and a dad, a husband and a wife, and they live in a 6,000 square foot house. It's appearance. There's no reason for it under any other circumstance. Think, well, my kids come over. No, they don't. They don't come over and spend a night. No, they don't. There's no reason for you to be in a 7,000 square foot house unless you're trying to prove something. It's pointless, but people do it. It is the way it is. This habit can quickly spiral out of control. And their attitude is, well, we don't have the money now. We'll just put it on credit card. We'll figure it out later. The bill comes due later. That's when it hurts. It's about making sure everyone sees how well they're doing. This is not the way to live your life. Nobody cares how well you're doing. Nobody at all. People are like, well, I work really. And that's another thing. Today, people, husband and wives, have to work to support their lifestyle, yet somebody else raises their children. Not necessarily a good thing. If they just gave up on some of the frivolous, these finer things in life to appear good, then they could actually take care of their own kids. It's just weird how this cycle works. This often looks like posting photos, luxury vacations, showing off expensive purchases on social media, dropping brand names in conversations. It's all an act. It's all an act. And yet behind the scenes, they're struggling. Credit cards are maxed out. Loans are maxed out. They're living paycheck to paycheck. They're begging for a dollar here. If something goes wrong, they're like one blown light bulb away from bankruptcy. But here's the thing. True wealth rarely feels the need to announce itself. Reality. So I even look at it. I highlighted that one differently. It's the truth right there. Show me nothing, showing me something. Right here, too, they will sacrifice their future for temporary validation. There's no doubt about it. It's getting pretty bad. I'm not going to just keep going in here. You can see right here, because we've been way too long in this video. They avoid asking for help when they need it. For someone who's pretending, the fear of judgment can keep them silent. It's just that they think they'll find a way out of it, but they don't. They are overly generous with their money. Again, it's a sign of them trying to prove that they got the money. You don't. Let me help you. It's bad. It's not the way the world should work. They make purchases to feel successful. The problem is that these purchases provide temporary sense of success. The excitement fades and the financial burden remains. There's no doubt about it. Buyer's remorse. They measure success by comparison. Define their wealth by how they stack up against others, constantly comparing their homes, cars, wardrobe, and lifestyle to those around them, using external markers as a way to feel validated. That sums up the whole thing in one shot right there. That's the whole entire thing, and we see it all the time. Drive through some fancy subdivisions. It'll blow your mind. It's all it is right there. Real success isn't appearance. It's about financial stability, personal growth, and peace of mind. There you go. So use it for what it's worth. Hope you enjoyed it. If you stuck around this far through this 15-minute video, apologize for that. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Put comments down below.